All right, Jimmy O'Kane from Wilkes University, Chicago, right? We're gonna call home.
Yep.
Talk what it was like growing up where you're from.
It was pretty, it was a good basic life. Good sports teams to, grow up on. Obviously the Blackhawks, that was a big part of why I loved hockey so much and still do. And just have really good friends from home that are still my best friends, and all my family's there. So it was really good growing up.
A lot of sports to start your.
Yes. I basically played them all. I think the last sport I stopped playing was baseball in sophomore year of high school. I think that was my last season. So I think kind of playing a ton of sports is helpful. Just you get to learn new things, and I think it was good for me.
How about Wilkes? How did you find Wilkes? And now all these years later, it's a senior year, right?
Yeah, it's crazy. Just playing juniors in Charlotte, some guys like Tyler Barrow and a few other guys came from Charlotte and went to Wilkes and kind of put that on the map. And then Coach Hines talked to me for a good bit before my last year of juniors, and then when I came visit, I knew that this was the right place to come, and that's kind of it.
Talk about the right place, getting to know these guys, building those relationships, guys that have moved on and maybe still have relationships with, and then the guys currently on the team that, you're living in a house or your apartment, or you guys are just having fun.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, just from my visit, it was very evident that people cared, and they all had the same goal of wanting to win, and that's where I wanted to be. I didn't want to go to a school where hockey was secondary, and that was pretty clear that this was what it was going to be like. And they had a tight-knit group coming in, and they opened us with welcome arms, and we try to do the same, going every year. Like, you come in as a freshman, and it's a little bit scary, but I think coming to Wilkes, it's a pretty easy transition.
About maturing, you're talking about Charlotte, and talking about you're coming to Wilkes-Barre, and how tough was it to kind of, hit the ground running and like grow up?
Yeah, I mean, I think just each year you kind of mature, and just different roles like throughout the years. Like coming in as a freshman, obviously with a team that was already ranked, like you kind of had to find your role and whatever you had to do to get in the lineup, and I think that's kind of helped me for who I am now.
Let's talk about, it's not real glamorous. You guys, at times it could be a 6 o'clock practice or, 4-hour bus ride. It could be tough. Talk a little bit about, being able to see through that and say, you know what, in the end, I'm in it for the right reasons.
Right. I think just if you love hockey, that's not really a problem, and kind of enjoy those things. And I think that we did a good job of recruiting guys who do love hockey. So whether it's 6 a.m. or the bus rides, like that's what it's all about. And you just got to kind of love the game. That's really it.
How about connecting with the guys that you're on the ice with, being in the line, and once in a while there's a switch. Hey, we might try this, but having that connection.
Yeah, just trying to be on the same page before games, knowing kind of how we want to play. Things like 3-on-2s, staying in our lanes. Just if your guy's going to be driving the net, stuff like that. Like, it's pretty easy to transition for new line mates. So just playing a simple game, I think, is the biggest key.
What do you think that you've improved on, or you're doing well, or something you're proud of from yourself? Like, hey, man, when I first came here, I wasn't doing this. Now I'm doing this a little better.
Yeah, maybe just the role change of just, freshman, sophomore year, just bring in anything I could, like whether it was PK, 13th forward, and kind of finding a role where, I'm leaned on to score and be on the ice in big moments. So I think that was the biggest improvement.
Guys that you could say that, hey, man, they're having a great year. I'm so proud of them this year at Wilkes this year.
I mean, yeah, definitely. I think the whole team, everyone's had their moments this year. Obviously, a guy like Swainer, he's I think had 1 goal last year and has completely flipped that around and has found a scoring touch. Billy Barry, I played with him in Charlotte, and I knew that he's always had this in him, and it's really nice to see his last year here that it's coming and the puck's finding the back of the net for him. But a guy like Max Cucci, he's just kind of buzzing around for us and bringing energy, and he's had big goals. So I think everyone's kind of bringing it, but I would say it's those guys.
Phil Erickson, let's talk about him as a player and now him as a coach. And, there's got to be a little difference there. And, he's a young guy, enthusiastic. What's his approach? What was his approach like as a player now as a coach? Is it comparable?
Yes. No, I think Phil's done a great job. Obviously, like I've been playing with him for 3 years, and then now he's my coach. So obviously, we've had that relationship before, but I think he's done a good job of just being a coach at the rink and knowing that he had to kind of flip that switch. But obviously, he brings a side where he's played here, and then now he's on the coaching side, so he's got to see both ends, and I think it's pretty cool.
Family message to them right now? You want to say, hey, back in Chicago, I miss this food, or I can't wait to see you, or whatever that is?
Yeah, well, we'll see them. They'll be here. My parents will be here senior night, so I'm excited to see them, and just thankful. Like I wouldn't be able to do any of this without them, so I'm very thankful for them.
Good to hear your story. Go get them.
Thank you.